9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Buzz, buzz, beautiful people. Happy Friday and what's left of Friday. It is your sweetest ooze, Queen Bee of WWT, Wrestling with Honey here, coming to you after pretty much covering the aftermath of SmackDown this evening. I do apologize for not being able to do a watch along this evening. There was a lot going on in the Beehive, or excuse me, not the Beehive, the Honey Pot per se. Don't want to get the real Beehive to attack me for that, but yeah. So we're just here to cover pretty much everything that transpired. I have caught up pretty much on my way from hustling in the honey pot, and I have reviewed and pretty much seen everything that has transpired. So we're just going to go over everything that has happened, and a lot did happen. It was pretty action-packed, being that it is the go-home show of SmackDown before Backlash that is going to be happening tomorrow in St. Louis, and we know that is going to be a big deal, and I will get into talking about those matches as well later on. So the show opened up really well. We pretty much started off with a tag team match with LA Knight and Damian Priest versus Solo Sikoa and the United States champion Jacob Fatu. Now, I understand what you could possibly be thinking, but man, this match was absolute chaos. This was actually fun to watch. I knew this was going to definitely lead to a lot of shenanigans going down. Priest and LA Knight being at odds, also being that they want the same thing at the moment, and Jacob has what they want. And then you also have the conflict that's going on between Jacob and Solo as far as authority. It's pretty crazy, but that match was very, very well executed nonetheless. All of these superstars put on a show, despite being at odds throughout. But nonetheless, Priest and Knight did come up with the win and defeated Fatu and Sikoa. Therefore, pretty much leading to, I think, some would say some conflict between the two family members. I'm never one to put family against each other, but it seems like Jacob's doing his own thing, and he's going to handle business regardless of what Solo says. And Solo's talking about having a game plan and things like that. And Jacob's honestly not trying to hear none of that. And if I were Solo, I'd pretty much back off. And for some reason, I can't help but see that could lead to something down the road. We will have to see, maybe at Backlash, perhaps, being that there will be a fatal 4-way for the United States Championship, but we'll get into that in a bit. So, but nonetheless, great match between Jacob, Solo, Knight, and Priest, and we shall see what happens between those 4 men tomorrow night. Also, my personal fave, Zelina Vega, Madam United States Champion, was pretty much holding it down for the evening. She was confronted by Chelsea Green and the Secret Hervis, who was supposedly having a eulogy. I forgot the term that Chelsea Green used, but it was absolutely hysterical. It was a eulogy for the girlies or something like that, a eugirlogy or something like that. It was absolutely hysterical. And it was like I couldn't even like breathe. I was just like, I don't know where she comes up with this, but she's absolute genius. So shout outs to Chelsea Green for that moment. But she pretty much was upset about the fact, of course, that she no longer has the United States Championship. And then she tried to pretty much talk smack about Zelina and saying that she has no friends, and that's why she has no friends or something like that. And Zelina pretty much said, hold that thought. How about I meet you two in the ring and I'll just show up with my imaginary friend? And it just so happened to be that her friend was the goddess herself, arriving in her home state of Ohio tonight. Alexa Bliss returned and teamed up with my girl Zelina Vega, and they had an absolute hell of a match against Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. Absolutely, in the terms of Jacob Fatu, dog walk their ass. It was really, really, really good. Alexa Bliss got the pin. Zelina put on a great performance. They just looked great. It was great to have Alexa Bliss back. Can't wait to see what the future holds. And yeah, man, the ladies were absolutely on fire tonight. So I absolutely loved it. Of course, Alexa hit the Sister Abigail DDT on Chelsea Green to get the win. And man, I thought it was absolutely well done. I thought it was good. And shout outs to them. The women are absolutely heating it up. And speaking of the women, it didn't stop there. Charlotte Flair then came to the ring and pretty much spoke to Ohio in regards to finding her path to the women's title again. But Ohio wasn't having it. And she was just pretty much talking down to the crowd in regard to feeling disrespected by the crowd. And she just pretty much threw the microphone and stormed off. And as she stormed off, a storm was brewing from Gorilla, and that was Jade Cargill, who just pretty much sized her up as she walked by her. Well, pretty much stood there for a moment, sized her up, and then walked by her just to let her know, still got my eyes on you, girl. And they've been having those kind of moments for a while now, ever since Jade arrived. And I actually love that. I love that we're holding off on that, because I feel like that's gonna be a big match, and the buildup is already building itself with having those moments. So as long as they continue to have these moments, I'm okay with it. As long as they just don't rush the process. Especially you want 100% Charlotte when you get Jade Cargill, you know what I mean? And it has to be at a big stage, at least for me personally as a viewer. But also, before I continue, shout outs to everybody in the chat. If you're up late, I apologize that it is late on the East Coast on our end. I know it's probably early, a little bit earlier for you guys in the West Coast as well. And shout outs to everybody viewing that's still up. I hope your Friday was well. Just pretty much trying to kick off your weekend right with a little evening show for post show for SmackDown. And yeah, man, Jade Cargill and Charlotte is definitely going to be something that I would be down for. I think a lot of people would be down for that. However, Jade Cargill wasn't there for Charlotte Flair. She was there to go one-on-one with the former Queen of the Ring and former Women's Champion, Nia Jax, who's also on her own path to recover what she feels is rightfully hers. And that is the Women's Champion that Tiffy Time currently has around her waist. Tiffy Time, before the bell could even ring, Tiffy Time did make her appearance and sit by commentary, and was just watching the action to see who her possible future contender is going to be in regards to her women's championship. Now, both women in Jade Cargill and Nia Jax have an absolute right to be in this absolute position. Nia Jax, being that she hasn't had that rematch and hasn't gotten her revenge on Tiffy since she cost her the title back in January. And Jade Cargill is looking to prove herself in this business as a solo star, and she's establishing herself. However, things didn't really so much work in Jade Cargill's favor, because there is the X factor. There is a certain madame named Naomi who you must proceed with caution at all times, because once you cross her, I would never want to cross her, put it that way. I wouldn't cross anyone, but especially Naomi, especially when she warns you. She's literally a walking warning sign, letting you know to proceed with caution. You know what I mean? So I would be wary and just be cautious. However, Jade wasn't so cautious, neither was Tiffy, because Naomi attacked both of them as well. Nia Jax pretty much squashed Jade Cargill from there and won the match. Of course, there's still going to be blood brewing from this situation between Naomi and Jade due to the fact that, you know, Naomi was the reason why Jade was taken out and out with injury for months. It just seems like, you know, that's going to continue to be something that's going to be chasing Jade Cargill for a while. It seems like Naomi's just going to be that tornado that's just not going to stop coming. And if I were Jade Cargill, I would definitely just keep eyes on the back of my head, girlfriend, because Naomi's just not playing around at all, and she's just still coming for you. And if it's not going to stop, you just got to find a way to stop it. You are the storm, so there's got to be some way. Jeffrey says Jade and Nia had a great match. Jade looked good tonight. Honestly, all the women looked great tonight. Every single one of them looked fantastic. Boza says, oh, for the love of God, her match with Tiffy wasn't one of her best WrestleMania matches ever. Charlotte threw a temper tantrum. Yeah, honestly, when she said that, I was like, all right, now, Charlotte, we know damn well that wasn't one of your, like, well, she said one of, even still. But that's not even like top 5 or 10. You know what I mean? Like, it was a good match, and Tiffy did her part, and you did yours as well. But it wasn't I wouldn't consider it one of the best. I mean, honestly, one of the best was obviously the triple threat match at Mania. You could even put her Hell in the Cell matches. You know, I mean, yeah, there's a bunch. Yes, thank you, Gas Mask. It was Eula Girlies. I can't take it with Chelsea Green, man. And Friday is going very well for me. Just, you know, was hustling today. Just made sure I wanted to be able to reconnect with you guys. Made my presence known, and pretty much hang out with you guys before I have to go do some work tomorrow for the gang. We're doing some press work for ISPW and 90s WrestleCon tomorrow out in Jersey. Me and Courtney, my WWT sister, we're going to be out and about. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that on the socials throughout the weekend, especially tomorrow. So we're going to be out there doing some business and handling some things and enjoying a good wrestling show. There's going to be a lot of wrestling legends there, including some legendary people such as Eric Bischoff, and Chris Van Vliet. Shout outs to him. He's going to be hosting the event. It's going to be pretty awesome. I'm glad to see you guys too. Yeah, man. I'm glad I was just able to make it and wanted to be able to catch up with everything on time. I had just finished watching Cena's promo, which on Randy Orton, which was an excellent promo. We'll get into that in a bit. But continuing on from everything that transpired after the women's, we're going to see what's going to be happening from them. But Nia Jax did defeat Jade Cargill, and we're going to proceed to see what happens after that. Also, let's see, changing it over to the gentlemen, we had a lot of tag team action tonight. Fraxium, yes, I said Fraxium, has had made their presence known this evening when they got pretty much the one up on the Street Profits tonight. Street Profits being in pretty much bad condition and in bad shape after their recent weeks. Nick Aldis decided to put them in a match, not for the championship, but I think that's a pretty big statement to have Fraxium win and beat the Street Profits clean. And yeah, LOL, Fraxium pissed off the tag team division. Man, they just pretty much put everybody on notice. They weren't playing in NXT, and apparently they're not playing now. So you know what? I know I've been guilty of talking a lot of crap on here about Fraxium and calling them a different name, but I can honestly say that they're definitely making their presence known, and I definitely acknowledge the worth in them and the talent that they have as a duo. I kind of advocated for them more to be solo competitors, but they do work really well together, and they are pretty amazing in the ring, their agility, their speed, their endurance, their charisma. They get the crowd hyped. They're really, really good at what they do, and I give them that. So shout outs to Fraxium for tonight for getting the win up on the champions, but they did get some respect from the champions as well. They extended their hand and shook hands and hugged as well. To be able to show good sportsmanship from the champs to Fraxium was pretty well done. Shout outs to the Street Profits. No matter what, I mean, they still are the champions and they're defending champions. They just had a bad day at the office tonight. Let's see. Speaking of bad days at the office, another person who had a bad day at the office tonight was Carmelo Hayes, and I would even say his partner or buddy or protege, or maybe he's Mrs. Protege. I'm not sure where the dynamic of that relationship lies, but apparently they are hanging around and they are Mellow Don't Miz, and they've been teaming up together. And Miz had a match last week with Aleister Black. Aleister Black's first match. Well, no, excuse me. Yes. He knocked Miz out. Excuse me. He appeared and he knocked Miz out. Yes, of course, because of course we all know I had my reaction to that 2 weeks ago, but he did defeat Miz, and now so we have Carmelo Hayes stepping in for this case, and obviously we know that wasn't going to go well for him. It was great to see, of course, the Man in Black return and make his presence known. They, of course, had a stellar match, very technical, very agile, a lot of cool tricks that they pulled out their sleeves tonight for in-ring ability. It's just great to see Miz get another black mask. See, Jeffrey, you just read my mind. Get another black mask. He really can't catch a break at all. Mello got that one off, but Mello's definitely owed a receipt on that. He definitely needs to get that black mask going. But nonetheless, Aleister Black did pull the win and defeated Carmelo Hayes this evening. Just love that they're giving my guy the push that he deserves, and just that welcome back into getting into the groove of being in the WWE machine again. And of course he had an amazing promo earlier in the night before Zelina's match when they went to commercial, and it was very well done, very well produced and put together, and he's not coming to play. He's basically warning the division as well. So the tag team division is on notice and the singles division is on notice, and it doesn't seem like he really cares about titles or anything like that. But man, if you decide to push him for a title picture eventually, man, just make him champ, man. That's my future champ. I'm just saying, that's my pick. That's my pick for future champ. I'm just saying. Boza says that his promo was so good to the point I still think that's Malachi Black, but I don't use that name gladly. Yeah, we don't use Malachi anymore. And honestly, I guess Malachi, when of course, given that when he was joined with the other company, I showed enough respect to be able to still call him that while he was there. But we are back to Aleister. There's no going back to that. He is definitely being presented very well back in WWE. Just roll out the black carpet for my guy, man. That's all I'm saying. Aaron Teagle, good to see you, buddy. Oh my goodness, yes, it was last Sunday. Happy birthday, happy belated birthday, buddy. Yes, I'm so sorry I missed it. But yeah, great match between Mello and Black, and of course a great sell by Miz after receiving the black mass. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that as that continues on. Maybe that'll lead to something else as well. We also had a tag team match with Andrade and Rey Fenix taking on Angel Garza and Berto of Los Garza, being escorted by Santos Escobar. So there was some kind of friction in this match, which was quite surprising. I really wasn't sure where this was going initially, because we've been seeing Andrade speaking to Los Garza here and there. We've also been seeing him speak to Santos Escobar here and there. And it's just really interesting of where this dynamic is going between the between this Los Garza group. Hey Bobby, good to see you, buddy. Happy Friday, or what's left of it. James Action Figures Toy Man says, where has Fallon Henley been? Fallon Henley, that's a good question. I mean, I believe she's been on NXT. But let's see, continuing on from SmackDown, Santos Escobar, there was some really interesting miscommunicated moments that happened where while Berto had Rey Fénix pinned, but Santos Escobar was pretty much accidentally distracting the ref at the wrong time. So that didn't work out then for them. But El Idolo Andrade was able to capitalize and lay the finisher down, and they were count 1, 2, 3. Andrade and Phoenix defeated Los Garza. After that, what happened was very interesting. Santos Escobar seemed to be very, very distraught and very upset, and was expressing a lot of hostility towards Berto in regards to the loss, asking him, what are you doing? What is that? What the hell is going on? And Berto wasn't taking it too kindly, and he slapped Santos Escobar's hand when he pointed it in his face, or it was tapping him on his chest. And not for nothing, you tapping me, like, I get it, you're grown, but I'm grown too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get you are the leader of this group, and I have respect for you, but you're not about to put your hands on me and get away with it. But, Berto slapped his hand away. Obviously, Santos Escobar wasn't happy about that, but how can you expect him to be? Berto was pretty much in defense of himself, and they've been having these kinds of mishaps the last couple of weeks. So Andrade seemed to be right, as Jeffrey says here. Santos is not showing them respect, and you know what? Not for nothing, I think this is a Triple H deep-rooted storytelling kind of version of the story of Los Garza, and the way they didn't really have these guys shining when they should have, especially when they were even part of the LWO when they were switching them around, or doing Legado del Fantasma when they were going back and forth to NXT and everything like that. You know what I mean? Now they finally have a place in the tag team division, and they have a leader, and they had a faction and everything like that. But now it's time to get them to break out on their own. But I think it's more so about showing the storyline of having and building the respect for Angel Garza and Berto as solo stars, as well as a tag team. And Santos Escobar is probably going to get a taste of some medicine where he needs to learn that he needs to respect that. In this case, which, if this is real true, I mean, of course, if this is Triple H storytelling, Santos Escobar represents us as the viewers, because before they were either very overlooked or underbooked, and just not really getting enough TV time. And they've been putting on stellar matches since they've arrived, even when they didn't get too much time. But we shall see what happens with those gentlemen as well. Congrats to Andrade and Rey Fénix on the win. And we shall proceed from there. Of course, finally, to the nitty-gritty. The champ showed his face this evening, and therefore we could all see him, and he had lots to say in regards to his match ahead of time, ahead of tomorrow's match for the championship at Backlash in St. Louis against the Viper Randy Orton one more time. Now, can I just brag for a moment? I just want to brag for a moment. If you guys will let me just go off on a little tangent, okay? And a good tangent. I, myself, and Councilman, if you guys watched our Kayfabe podcast on YouTube, we also pretty much did an episode about John Cena's retirement year and how we would book it. We both said that Randy Orton would show up at Backlash, or for Backlash, and be the next opponent for Cena after Mania when he wins the title. So So far, we're on the right track, and I'm feeling it. So I'm very happy about this match. I'm very excited about it, given the history behind these two, the two that pretty much, as John Cena said, that defined the ruthless aggression era. He was pretty much the Joker to John Cena's Batman. And now it's just crazy that in 2025 we get to revisit it all over again, but this time with reversed roles. You have John Cena as the heel and Randy Orton as the face, and being continuing still in a somewhat way, shape, or form of being that legend killer, because John Cena is yet, as he said last week, another legend that he needs to take down. So, yeah. Yes, Zach Minger, you're absolutely right. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. It is the kickoff for Mother's Day weekend. We hope and wish all the mothers well and send them love and blessings. And you know what? Just hug your mom, y'all. Hug your mom. Mom, mother-in-law, stepmom, hug your mom. Let her know that she is loved. But yeah, man, Jeffrey, I had to go ahead and brag. I was very, very happy about that. John Cena said, Jeffrey says John Cena didn't have to bring up his 2006 drug test and call him a failure. Listen, that line was diabolical. That line was some wild work. Cena continues to just push the envelope and continue to just dig deep and just fire back with such crazy insults in regards to things that are true about these superstars and his opponents. And he's literally ruining everything. He's literally ruining wrestling. And he's definitely on the verge of continuing to do that, and honestly, I love Randy. I love the Viper. If this was 2006 or 2009, I would definitely be saying Randy's definitely beating Cena. But in 2025, with heel Cena and face Randy on the opposite end, being technically the hero in this situation, who wants to save wrestling or see if he can help and keep Cena from ruining wrestling. In 2025, I can't say that it's going to happen. And they're in St. Louis. If his family is going to be there, it's definitely over. It's so over. And Cena's definitely going to just just pretty much dog walk Randy Orton. It's not going to be easy because, of course, we know Randy's in phenomenal shape and we know Randy has capabilities. I'm not saying Randy's a scrub. And I'm not saying Randy's just going to get a quick ass whooping like that. No, absolutely not. Maybe we'll get a punt, or maybe we could possibly get a punt, or maybe we'll get some kind of shenanigans going on. Maybe Kevin Owens will show up. We still haven't seen Cody since he's lost. It's been really interesting. We really haven't seen Cody much at all. So a lot of factors to consider when going into that match. So speaking of that, John Cena, of course, everything closed with John Cena, before we get to Backlash really quick, and then we can call it a night. Someone tried to attack John Cena before he was pretty much finishing up his closing lines and closing statements. And it was someone in a hoodie with tattoos, and John Cena was able to take him out. It definitely had the same build and seemed like it was Randy Orton, but apparently it wasn't, because someone else appeared again right behind him, and it was Randy Orton again, and he was able to land and execute yet another RKO and deliver that to Cena one more time. Had Cena laid out 2 SmackDowns in a row, that's one of the reasons why I have to consider that Randy Orton is not going to win tomorrow. So I don't know. I don't think it was a fan. I think that was just planned because the Viper is always trying to be 2 steps ahead, which technically he is. We'll just see if he could still be on his P's and Q's for tomorrow. And so speaking of tomorrow, same Boza. speaking of tomorrow, we have Backlash, and we can quickly just go over that and go do maybe some quick honey pot predictions. Since I will not be here, I know it's tomorrow evening, depending if I'm back in time with Courtney from 90s WrestleCon. I could possibly join in on a watch along if there's one, or maybe a post show and review show if the crew is down. I'm going to have to talk to the team about that and see about that. I didn't check out the show obviously earlier today, so maybe I should review that and see if they mentioned that there. Gotta update myself on my own team. You know what I mean? You got to make sure you got to stay in the loop because you don't want to miss anything. Just make sure you show up for work and be on your P's and Q's. That's all I like to do. You know what I mean? But we have here, let's see. So Backlash happening tomorrow, May 10th. Of course, in St. Louis. And let's just go over this match card. It is going to be in St. Louis at the Enterprise Center, going to be streaming on Peacock and Netflix. John Cena will be featured in his first appearance at Backlash since 2009. Oh, God, that's crazy. Which will also be his last Backlash appearance as an in-ring performer due to his retirement now. So for the matches, we have 5 matches on the card, still keeping it cute, short and sweet, but these matches are going to be jam-packed and action-packed. John Cena, of course, versus Randy Orton, singles match for the undisputed WWE Championship. Of course, you guys know my pick, as I said previously. I do believe John Cena is going to keep that title around his waist and continue to ruin wrestling as he sees fit throughout his retirement year. Because honestly, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying every minute of Cena. If you're enjoying every minute of this Cena heel run as well as title run, say I in the chat, please. Yeah, so my pick, and you guys also feel free to let me know and comment, and also like this video and share this quick review video. John Cena versus Randy Orton. Let's see who else and what your votes are. So let us know in the comments what you think and who you think is going to win as we go along with these matches. We also have the singles match for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship on the line between Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch. That's going to be hopefully a good match. We've seen Lyra and Becky put on a banger before in NXT with a title defense on the line. I think this is definitely something that Lyra Valkyria needs to execute if she can come up with the win. I feel like she needs this win more than anything. And there could possibly be some shenanigans in for Becky Lynch. I'm not sure how, not sure why or when, but yeah, I personally think that Lyra Valkyria can come up with a strategy to win. She is a fighting champion. She's defending it against Big Time Bex. And like I said, she needs this win, but I love my favorite horsewoman, and I'm going with the man, Big Time Bex, Becky Lynch. I think she has the possibility to definitely take that title back. Whenever pretty much you need to throw some prestige on a title, you go to Becky Lynch, man. Same thing happened when Rhea got injured and Liv Morgan Liv Morgan injured Rhea, and Becky Lynch pretty much filled in for that. You know what I mean? So I think Becky Lynch is just going to make history once again, and she's going to get a title that she's never held before. So that's pretty interesting. And I would like to see that for her. And let's see Lyra Valkyria go for the chase. You know what I mean? Let's see her tap into her inner instincts and her inner Valkyrie and start slaying these girls. You know what I mean? Then we also have a singles match, one-on-one, Pat McAfee versus Gunther. Now look, I do appreciate what Pat brings in some ways to Monday Night Raw, to the show. I do enjoy watching his product. He's off the rip at times, and well, all the time, and he's just too funny. But I believe that this is all just a setup for something. First of all, we're setting up Pat to go back away for college football and everything like that. So I think that honestly, this is a setup for something else. Gunther has hinted at it before, and there's been a lot of rumors circulating on in the IWC and in the socials that this could be leading up to a potential one-on-one showdown with the man that they call Goldberg. Considering that they did have an interaction a while back in which Gunther completely insulted Goldberg in front of thousands of people at a live show. A lot of people think that this is where he gets his true retirement match and he goes against Gunther. I can't say that I'm on board with this. I can honestly say I'm not a fan of it, for obvious reasons. Not that I don't think Goldberg was great. Was he great at WCW and back in the 90s or 2000s? He was excellent. He played his part. He did his part in the wrestling business, and he had a streak going. He was the man at one point. But I'm just saying now, man. And Gunther, of all people, like, I understand he insulted you, but please don't do it. If you're thinking of doing it, Goldberg, just take it from me, man. Don't do it. Please don't do it, because Gunther is gonna chop you down to size. I don't know if he's gonna show up during this match, or maybe he'll show up after on Raw or SmackDown, wherever Gunther lands, or is. But I do believe it's Raw. Yeah, Raw. So I mean, you don't know. Or maybe he could disrupt the match, or show up after the match is over. I don't know how Pat McAfee's going to survive this. So I mean, I can't go with Pat McAfee on this one. It would be it's honestly nonsensical for him to do this. I'm not sure why he's doing this. I understand he was in defense of his friend Michael Cole, and of course, anyone would, for their, if you're ride or die for your partner or someone you work with, or your close coworker, or your best friend, or your favorite cousin, or your favorites, or your siblings, or your family members, you know what I mean, or your loved ones, your spouses. I understand the ride or die mentality, but is it worth being choked out by the ring general? It's bathroom break or a squash, Fernando. Buenos noches. It's bathroom break or a squash, pretty much. He says Goldberg is not showing up in this match, maybe at a later time, possibly. Can Goldberg even do a spear anymore? Listen, bro, I thought he pretty much I thought he should have quit doing the spear once he screwed himself up by doing the spear. And we're not going to talk about that match. We don't talk about that match. You know which match I'm talking about. He knocked himself out before he could even have the damn match. But anyway, yeah. So Pat McAfee versus Gunther. Yeah, I'm going with Gunther on that. Then we also have two more matches listed up. We have two of the most amazing luchadors in WWE. Of course, besides Rey Fenix, we have his brother Penta, Lucha Bro. Penta is going to be going one-on-one against Dirty Dom Mysterio, the WWE Intercontinental Champion. That match is going to be so good, and I'm so excited for it. It's going to be so good. I don't even know who to root for, though. This match is going to be so good, I don't even know who the hell to root for. But I can't help but wonder if there's going to be a disqualification involved that causes Dom to keep the title. Don't know if it's going to happen on Penta. Don't know if it's going to happen on Dom. Not sure. But there's also going to be the factor that plays in that is related to Finn Balor. I just feel something. And Carlito's going to try stuff, and Liv Morgan's going to try her thing. Like, I feel like there's just going to be a lot of chaos going on with this match. I don't want to see Penta get a pin though, but you know, I'm gonna have to go with Dirty Dom keeping this title. Might have to do that. We are still in the dirty era. The dirty era. This is the first defense after the dirty era, had was completed and pretty much reinvented itself through the Intercontinental Championship, and Dom is doing a great job. I think he should just continue a run with this title, and he should keep the title. Penta is one of those superstars that's so larger than life. He doesn't necessarily need a title. Does he deserve one? Absolutely. Put the strap on him now if you'd like, but I wouldn't do that to Dom so soon, unless somebody screws him out of the situation, and then you create a one-on-one situation with him and Finn Balor, where finally Finn has had enough because he knows that the Judgment Day is no longer the Judgment Day that he knows and loves, and he no longer has control over it. So there's that factor as well. There's so many elements to this and layers to this story that we can consider, but we'd be pretty much doing that till we're blue in the face. Okay, well, yeah, you get what I'm saying. But but yeah, so that's gonna be a very good match. But yeah, Dirty Dom, Mysterio for the win. We're still in the dirty era. He retains the Intercontinental Championship. And then finally, also, we have that fatal four-way that I did mention earlier between Jacob Fatu, our United States champion. This is for that title, by the way, versus LA Knight. Yeah, Damian Priest and Drew Bloody McIntyre. And this match is going to be pure, utter chaos. So make sure y'all grab your popcorn, grab your snacks, grab your beverage, grab a good beverage for this one, because this match is going to be on fire. As far as the winner of this match, this could go any single way it wants. Any single way it wants. But man, there's no stopping this man, Jacob. Jacob Fatu retains. The Samoan Werewolf must retain. I feel like it just continues to make him stronger. It continues to solidify the United States Championship and his particular run as United States champion. It shows he's not something to mess with. I think everybody's just having way too much fun watching him just slam and slay and beat down and just dog walk everyone that comes in his way, everything that's in his path. And honestly, Solo, look out, because I'm sure he'll do it to you too if you don't start acting right. Because this attitude and this nonsense going on, I don't know. Unless Solo screws him too. I mean, hey, I don't know. I mean, is it possible to see a title change? Not so sure. I mean, it's not impossible. Anything's possible at this point. You never say never. But I think Jacob should retain. And I am going to vote that he does that. So again, just to go through all the picks that I chose for Backlash. John Cena versus Randy Orton. I chose John Cena. Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. I chose Becky Lynch. Pat McAfee versus Gunther. Of course, I chose Gunther. And Dominic Mysterio versus Penta. I chose Dirty Dom. And for the Fatal 4-Way United States Championship, I chose Jacob Fatu. All matches I think are going to be great. I think this is going to be a very decent pay-per-view. I think St. Louis is going to bring it. The energy should be good. It's a wrestling town. I really hope that I just really hope we get some really good energy and good vibes from the show. It is the aftermath of WrestleMania, the first PLE after WrestleMania. So I'm really, really excited to see what Uncle Hunter has planned for us tomorrow night. But in the meantime, guys, that was pretty much the recap of SmackDown this evening, as well as my quick honey pot predictions on Backlash tomorrow, since I wasn't able to join you guys earlier for the watch along or post or WWT live show. I will have to check back and see if I'll be able to do a watch along and post show with the crew if anybody's available and down. Otherwise, I will be doing some work at 90s WrestleCon out in Jersey alongside my WWT sister, Courtney, and we're going to handle some business out there, catch some interviews, and hopefully also maybe shoot some content as well, and hopefully just get some good vibes going. And hopefully, if anyone is interested in seeing, if you're watching or listening to this, we'll hopefully see you there. It's going to be held in Morristown, New Jersey, 90s WrestleCon. Shout outs to ISPW for having us host a table at the event. Going to be having a table at the event. We're going to also have there's going to be Chris Famblier there hosting the event as well. He's hosting the entire event, and there's also going to be a wrestling show. So I'm always down to see an indie wrestling show, and I'm excited. ISPW has some really, really good stuff going on. So shout outs to them. They're doing really big things up in Jersey. Thank you for letting me take the time to hang with you guys for the evening. I'm really happy there was a few of you that joined in with us. Thanks. Oh, hey, Maria. Yes. I think it would be way too soon to take the championship from Fatu as well. I personally think so too. I wasn't wishing that it would happen. I was just saying that there is always that perspective. You never know. Triple H might pull that trigger. But yeah, thank you for the compliment for the predictions, Fernando. I appreciate that. Yeah, man, things have been busy in the pot, but I'm glad I was able to spend some time with you guys. Again, I will be hanging tomorrow, so keep it locked and make sure you guys check out the social medias on Women's Wrestling Talk, www talkpod.com as well. The website's up. We have some merch and everything like that. Check out all the interviews from Queen of the Ring Red Carpet that we have going on with that was done by TK and excuse me, Mayor and Courtney, and I also had some interviews as well. Pretty much, let's see what we got going on as well. We have shout outs to, of course, to All Caribbean Wrestling, and congratulations on their collaboration with the WWE ID. They're doing big things, so you can check them out on all the social spaces as well. As you know, they are amazing sponsors here at WWT. Shout outs to the team. Shout outs to everybody in the chat as well. You guys know you can always find me on Everything Wrestling with Honey on social spaces. Look out for the Wrestling with Honey podcast on YouTube, and launching later, well, going into next year, wrestlingwithhoney.com. So I got a lot of cool things cooking, and I'm really, really happy things are finally getting in motion. Can't wait to see can't wait to show you guys what I've got going on. So make sure you guys keep it locked and make sure you guys support. We will be doing some content for tomorrow on Women's Wrestling Talk on our Instagram as well, and all our socials. So make sure you check that out to keep in the loop about what's going on and the happenings at 90s WrestleCon tomorrow. You guys also could find me again with the Kayfabe podcast. You can find me here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sometimes for a watch along every now and then, or even a post show when I'm able to squeeze it in. I'm glad I was able to squeeze it in today. And you guys have a wonderful weekend. Be safe. Happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mothers out there, all the beautiful mothers that work hard and do what they got to do for their children, no matter what. Single mothers, married, even, adopted mothers, all kinds of mothers, man. You all deserve the love and praise. And hug your mom, y'all. Make sure you guys have a good night. Be safe. Have a great weekend. This is Wrestling with Honey signing off from Women's Wrestling Talk for the Honey Night SmackDown post show. And remember, Women's Wrestling Talk is the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. Peace, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WWTalkPod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.